Hey everybody, welcome to another solo Sunday with Pencil-First Games. It is Halloween today, so it is a vaguely Halloween edition. We'll see. I'm Jessica with Pencil-First Games. As always, it's great to have everybody here. And today we're going to take a look at Floriferous and that solo mode. But first, before we dive in, random assortment of candy. I'm not sure what we're going to do with that. I think we might be replacing the stones that we can see up here with some fancy candy. We'll see. I may try this candy. I have not had any of it yet, so should be interesting. But yeah, Floriferous is definitely coming up soon. If you're a Kickstarter backer, you should have seen all the recent updates about it and where we are. So we're getting ready for that very soon. So very exciting. This is an awesome, wonderful game. I did a lot of play testing with the solo mode, and it's a lot of fun. I'm that crazy person who's played Herbaceous, I think, around 1,600 times now. That's my game. It's very relaxing, very fun. And Floriferous is kind of a step up a little bit in terms of complexity, where you have other types of decisions as we make our way through the garden and try to pick and pair different flowers, create arrangements, and complete bounty cards. So there's more going on, but it's not an overly complex game. It does remind me a little bit of Sunset Over Water, if you're familiar with those movement options. Here, we're just going to be going column by column, but it's a nice, relaxing, gardening type game, we'll see, with probably one of the greatest solo opponents I've come across recently, which is the pesky guest, otherwise known as the Crow, who is very thematic for today. This is a perfect opponent to play against on Halloween. I am looking forward to it, and if you watched my solo Sunday earlier this year, there was an actual guest, Crow. We will see if that pops in here again. Most likely we'll have some fun with that. But today is just about learning how this works, and hopefully everybody will have copies soon. I say soon because there's always stuff that happens, but soon. So I have the game almost completely set up. I do have stones that I have to put out, and I am just deciding if I want to use my candy or the actual stones. These are what comes with the game. They're awesome. There's nothing wrong with them. This is just me trying to be Halloween-esque, because let me tell you a story. Long ago, I recall wearing Halloween costumes as a kid, and there were 2 incidents, I'm pretty sure, where we were supposed to have a Halloween parade at school, so kids would get dressed up, little kids. And I specifically recall my mother dressing me up in the morning and sending me to school, and nobody else was. So I was the only kid in a costume. The horror. I believe one year I was a mouse, which you can get away with. There wasn't that much involved in that. There was face paint and a tail and some ears. Fine. Another year, I don't know what happened. I need to find out the story of this from my family, I feel like. But I wanted to be one of those troll dolls that were a craze back in the 80s or 90s. And I swear that costume came out like Troll 2. If you're familiar with that, great movie right there. And I say great very sarcastically. But that's what I looked like, I feel like. And, good times. So no costume for me today. However, as it is a Halloween type thing, I do have guest trick-or-treaters that are going to come by. You might recognize them from some other games, and then I just have some random stuff, so hopefully it'll be fun, cute, and we're going more for the nice kind of scary. We're not doing any scary type of Halloween stuff. This is candy and, just silly stuff. That's the type of Halloween I prefer. And in the comments, my dad has said that was a scary costume. He is correct. I should find this and share it with, you know what? I don't know if it's worth sharing. It was frightening. That is not part of the type of Halloween I'm trying to have here. And Andrew says, that art, can't wait to see these cards in person. Yes, these are awesome. And why don't I, as we have everybody kind of trickling in here, let's actually do a couple of close-ups so I can kind of, again, it's on camera. This doesn't do these as much justice, but these are beautiful watercolor artwork by Clementine Campardu. These were done by hand. So the process of creating these is just amazing. We have a couple of videos. She shared a few videos of her process, but it's amazing just to see these, how they all flow together nicely. You'll see that there are 5 different types of flowers, 5 different colors. So there's a lot of variety here. And then you'll also see on a couple of these, like this mum over here, and I'll go through this as we kind of teach this. It's a little easier here. But at the bottom, you'll see this icon that says a ladybug. And if you look really closely, there's a little ladybug just hanging out there in the petals. So we also have little bugs here. And I will admit, I'm not huge with bugs, but these ones are really cute. They're nice to find, and you'll see that they help get some extra points along the way. So fun times here. Let me start clearing out the area a little bit just so that we are ready to play. Again, this is Floriferous. And just for the difference, previously when we did Solo Sunday, that was a prototype copy. This is the final production version. So what you see here is what is going out to Kickstarter backers soon and also coming to retail. And I should also note, we are not playing with it today, but there's also the early spring mini expansion, which is separate. That kind of adds other aspects to it, but we are just going to be taking a look at the base game today, mostly so that I know what I'm doing. And again, the mini expansion does not add complexity to the point of, not being able to mix it in right from the start. It's just a nice way to kind of see how the game works, and then that adds an option to expand it when you would like to. So I have everything almost set up, as I said. I'm going to go through what everything is here. And again, the artwork is just so lovely. There's a little cup of tea right here. If you're familiar with our other games like Herbaceous, there's the herb biscuit card. Here it's the cup of tea, which is double-sided. So one side, if you want to have a reminder of what it does, it's right there. Or if we want to have a full artwork view, there it is. And the cup of tea works a little differently in the solo mode. I'll go through that in a little bit here. So my only hesitation with the candy is that I seem to have found ones with random crystallized sugar or something else. So you know what? We're going to go with regular stones, but why don't we say every time I earn a stone, I will taste one of these candies, because I don't know what's going on here. And as a note, I set this up a little while ago. My husband came down. I said, does this look all right? And I said, don't touch that candy. It's staged. That man touched the candy. There's one missing. Oh, can never get candy in this house for long. All right, so why don't we dive in here and get started on how to play the solo mode, and then I'll go through it and we can see how that works and how that, what that looks like. So what is Floriferous all about? We're going to be going through a garden, collecting garden cards, which are usually flowers you'll see out here. That's the most common type. We might get arrangement cards, and that's what these are. So an arrangement card, if we look at the bottom, it has 3 different elements that it's looking for. And if we can get all 3 elements, that's 5 points. And if it's, 1 element, it's 1 point, 2 is 3. And so, for instance, this one, which is just so lovely, if you look at it up close, there's just so much going on. It's flowers in, what is this? I think this is our milk container. Yes, you can see it at the bottom, like a milk jug. And it has tulips, and it's mostly yellow flowers you can see it's looking for. And ladybugs, if we look again, these are, I can never do them justice on camera, but there's ladybugs on there. Just kind of floating around, not floating. Are they flying? No, they're crawling all over. Oh, all right, let's grab some water. I'm too excited. All right. So we're going to be going through the garden. We're going to play over 3 days. So we're simply going to be going column by column and making a decision on which of those cards I want to take myself. And we're going to go across. That's going to be 1 day. We'll clear it out. Then we're going to go right to left for day 2 with all new cards. And then day 3, we'll go back across, and that's it. So we're going to play 3 rounds of making those decisions. And what is the goal there? So the goal is to try to complete. First, we have bounty cards. There's 3 of these out every game. And at the top, you'll see there are 3 different elements. So what are those, you might ask? And once you play the game, this becomes pretty clear what they are, but there's a very nice reference card that will come with the game that shows you what those flowers are, what those colors are, what the bugs are. So very quickly, we can see what those mean. So let's use that on here to figure out what is this bounty card looking for. So that's looking for a poppy, a daisy, and a beetle. And for bounty cards, I have to get 1 of each card to do this. You'll see with arrangements, I can actually use a card for multiple purposes. So for instance, for this arrangement, if I had that in my hand and was scoring it, if I had a yellow tulip, that would count for 2 of those 3 elements. But with bounty cards, these are the big ones. We need to get 3 different cards, 1 with each of those elements. And the biggest part with bounty cards is when you score, you're either going to get 5, 3, or 2 points, depending on how quickly you can complete these. And bounty cards, again, you'll use 3 every game, but there's a total of 9. So there's all different types of combinations you can see of what those main kind of public goals are going to be. So this is solo, so it doesn't really matter what's public and private. But in the multiplayer game, that's what everyone's working towards to start with. But is that it? Not at all. As we're going through, we can pick up these garden cards, which can definitely help with completing the bounty cards. But then you'll see at the bottom, there are these desire cards, these little cards at the very bottom. What these are kind of private goals. So when I go and choose my very first card, I have 3 choices. I have my 2 garden cards or the desire card. So let's say I wanted to pick up a desire card. What does that mean for me? That means only I can score that, which again, in a solo game, doesn't have as big of a meaning. But in multiplayer, this is a very interesting decision of who's going to be able to complete that and who wants that card. So for instance, I guess today is just Ladybug Day. What this card says is I would get 3 points for every Ladybug card that I collect during the game. So that could work out very nicely. The next one, just so we can go through and just see the different types, that means that I get 2 points for every orange garden card. The next one is 2 points for every, that is a mum, I believe. Yep, for every mum. And then the next one, if I can talk, this is looking at having the same type of bug. And that's what the equal sign there is. So it might be all butterflies. If I can get, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I can get 5 butterflies, that's 10 points. Pretty nice. And then the last one is looking for different types of bugs. So if I get 1 of every type of bug, and there's 5 of them, that's 7 points. But what to pick is the question. And so as I'm going through, the bounty cards definitely offer a lot of points. Again, that's 5 points if you can complete it on day 1. But for longer term strategy, sometimes picking up some of these desire cards early can be really, really helpful. And one other element, well, there's a few. Let's go through and make sure that I covered everything. You'll see that there's a couple of face down cards in the garden. You'll say, Jessica, flip those. What are you doing? Nope. It's part of setup, actually. What that is that when I go into that column to choose which card I want, those face down cards are an option. I just don't know what they are. And I can take a chance and say, yes, I definitely don't want that other card. Give me that. I'm going to take it. And then you can see what you get. So it can be very helpful. It can also be one of those funny moments where you say, I did not need this. So there's that. You can see that there's also stones on some of these cards. So stones are worth extra points at the end of the game, but in solo, they are also used to thwart your opponent, the pesky guest, this fantastic crow. And if you know there's a crow, there's probably a crow beyond just this card hanging out. So just to take a look at what those cards look like. It's going to be my turn first. Solo player goes first, and then it's the crow. So what can the crow do? So on this card is telling me that the card in that middle position, I'm going to take it, discard it, and replace it with a face down card, which could be good or bad for me. Other things the crow can do is the crow could do this. The crow could discard that card and put 2 stones in an empty space. And what's that going to do? That crow is going to get to collect those stones. And if the crow ever has 4 or more stones, it steals something from me. So I have to discard a card. I can manage the crow's stones by discarding some of my own. So there's a management feature here, a little bit of making sure that you have some stones so that the crow does not take what you need. It's very interesting. And to mark progress on the bounty cards, we have these fantastic, I believe we call these fleeples. I think that was Anna Maria who named him these. It's perfect. They're like little flower meeples. And just to throw a couple of other ones in there, there's different colors. So there's 4 colors, and I'll show the player pawns here in a second. But they come in different colors, but also different patterns. So if we can kind of see those up close, that should hopefully be able to see those from far away. So let me get them back. Put in rainbow order because that's the only way I can handle putting away components. And I chose to be blue, so there's the blue token that is going to represent me. If we want to just see the other ones, all of those player tokens or gardener pawns are also different shapes. So that should help tell them apart. So where are we here? We are almost ready to start. Before I do, though, let me see. We have a pesky guest, but we might have some actual guest trick-or-treaters. Like, who's this? There is Anthos from Skull Hollow. We'll keep him nearby up here. We'll call that the Guardian of the Stones. Although maybe it would make more sense to also have, let's have Grok. Rawr. Grok will be up there. And I should note, why are the Skull Hollow people or guardians showing up? If you missed our announcement, we do have Mall Peak, which you can sign up for on Kickstarter to be notified when it goes live. We don't have the exact date yet, but actually let me throw that link in the comments just so that everybody can see that to sign up. Oh, there we go. Hopefully that shows up. But yes, Small Peak is the standalone expansion or sequel to Skull Hollow. And I will talk about that a little bit more as we get into Floriferous, though. Because I want to get into this, see how this works, and see how well I do. So what are we going to do here? So my first decision as I'm going here is to choose from these 3 cards. I have an orange tulip, a white lily with a stone, or this lovely desire card that gives me points for ladybugs. So looking at what's out here right now, I could take the risk and say, all right, if I pick this up, I need to focus on ladybugs. There is a bounty card that has a ladybug in it, so that could be good. And there's a mum over here with a ladybug. Does a lily get me anywhere? A lily does not help me with anything up there. It's a stone, which can be useful, but nah, I don't want it. And then a tulip. Ooh, tulip could help me there. Can I even get... No, I don't think I can actually complete a bounty on day one with what's out here right now. The closest I could get here would be this one. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my turn. I am going to take this lovely tulip that's coming into my hand, and let's just make sure that I have these in view, which would put my gardener pawn here. And that would be my turn right there. But I don't just keep going. The crow must go. So one thing I can do once per game, and only once per game, rather than holding on to the cup of tea, which is worth 2 points to me at the end of the game, I can actually toss it at the crow to scare it off for one round. So what that would mean was that I would get 2 turns in a row. This early on, I'm all right with it. I want to keep my lovely tea as I'm taking my stroll through my garden. So let's see what the crow is going to do. So this is the card that I've drawn. All right. So what that tells me is we're going to actually discard. All right. Tanthos and Grok, you're taking up too much space. We're going to discard this card, which would have been useful to me. I was actually thinking of going there. It's all right. I wouldn't call that a terrible situation from the crow. And then it is going to place 1 stone where that was. How rude. I consider that the crow tossing a stone and just destroying it. Goodness. All right, so that's it. Now we're moving on back to me, and it's my turn. So what can I do here? There's a few options. First, I could move to this space, and that would just let me take that stone. What that does is it prevents my fancy-dancy crow over here from taking it. It does help because, again, if that crow gets 4 or more stones, it's going to make me discard a card. So I don't think I need the stone right now, though. I'm feeling pretty good about this. I could pick up, this arrangement is, okay. So I have 2 good options here. This arrangement, as I kind of showed before, is looking for tulips, yellow flowers, and ladybugs. I have a tulip in my collection already. I picked that. This is part of my lovely bouquet. Or I have a desire card, which means that I get 2 points for every orange flower. And this tulip is orange. I should note, too, a lot of this is based on iconography, so you don't have to necessarily say, is that a daisy? Is that a lily? The icon in the bottom left will always indicate, it kind of has the silhouette of what the type of flower is, and then the color has its own shape as well. All right. So what do I want to do? I think I'm going to take this desire card, which gives me 2 points for every orange flower, which means I move here. And now that kind of changes my game plan a little bit, because that means I might want to collect a lot more orange flowers. Great. Crow, what are you doing? All right. So the crow this time is going to destroy my desire card, or the next one in that area. Take that. That gets discarded, and a stone goes in that place. Okay. So now I know that the crow is going to collect 2 stones at least. It might be good to collect a stone here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this yellow daisy plus the stone. I'm actually going to move the rule book a little bit over to here. And in the comments, my dad has just asked, is there a hyacinth bouquet? Which is a wonderful reference to anybody who has not seen that. That's Keeping Up Appearances, one of the greatest British TV shows. She pronounced her last name is clearly spelled bucket, but Hyacinth pronounces it, it's bouquet. Sadly, I don't think there is a hyacinth bouquet, but in my mind, that's what I'm creating. So I picked up a stone, and for that, we're going to try one of these pieces of candy. I'm going to go with this little pumpkin guy who is labeled as a sour pumpkin. Let's give this a whirl. Oh, that's sour. I should have tasted this ahead of time. All right, that's sour. I will live. Get some water for that. Luckily, the stones in Floriferous are very safe. They're not sour and not edible. Do not attempt to eat anything. Good plan, Jessica. Happy Halloween with random candy. All right. Moving on. It is the crow's turn again. I don't really need that lily. Bugs are not working for me that much. I kind of want to see what that face down card is, but I'm okay. I'm not spilling my tea for this. Ooh, that's an interesting card. So what this is telling me is that crow is going to discard this lily and replace it with a face down card. So I'm fairly certain I am going with a face down card. The question is, which one? I really don't want this desire card for bugs. I'm fine without it. Fine. Trying to see, do I have... Let's see. I am going to say that the crow gave me a card. So I'm going to take this card that the crow replaced it with, and let's see what we got. Ooh, it's actually a card that I really do need. Oh, this could be really good, actually. Okay, I'm excited. The crow actually helped. That crow helped. So I got what this is. This is an orange poppy. So remember, with my desire card, this is going to be worth 2 points to me. And it also has a ladybug on it, which a ladybug is in this bounty card. So let's get our area a little organized over here. I like to arrange these by different flower types. You could also do it by color, whatever makes sense. Ooh, okay. So now comes the interesting part, because if I can pick up this tulip, it has a butterfly on it, I can actually complete that bounty card on day 1. But is that worth it to me to lose my tea? I don't want to, my tea is precious. I want the tea to stay. So I think I'm going to risk it and see what that crow is going to do. Okay. Oh, but this is all right. Nope. I got it. I have it. So the crow is going to discard this desire card and replace it with 2 stones. And so if you see what's out in the garden area, there are 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So at the very end here, the crow could steal something from me. But I have something up my sleeve. I know what I'm doing here. I think. So I am going to take that tulip. And let's see, can we see these? I will rearrange in a moment just to make sure everyone can see. That would be the end of the day. So what we want to do for finishing up on the end of the day, several things. So number one is I would go off to the side here just to mark that we're going to be coming back here on day 2. However, believe I completed this bounty. I need a tulip. What do I need here? Yep, I got it. Okay, so first I'm going to use this card as a tulip. I'm going to use this card for the butterfly. And I'm going to use this card for the ladybug. Da-na-na-na-na-na. Put out my fleeple. And I get 5 points. Yay! A quick note that there are only three fleeples in Floriferous, because you can only have one on each of those cards. So I did that. Next, what we would do is we would give all of these stones to the crow. But hold on just a second there, crow. I'm not done with you. The crow only gets the stones that are sitting out in the middle of nowhere. Regular stones that are on cards just get discarded. Those, not for you. And then we would discard everything in the play area. Ooh, I'm glad I didn't take it. That was a pink poppy, which would not have helped me. So we discard everything here, including desire cards. Don't forget those. Saying it to myself. And then, before that crow would be able to steal something from me, we should actually put it on the crow himself or herself. I can discard one stone. I have one stone, which removes the same amount from that crow. So the crow is at 3 stones now. So the crow doesn't get to steal anything from me. Ha! I will still get you soon. Uh-oh. There's a crow just watching me. There, we'll leave it. There's a tiny foot visible if you see it. That's always a good sign, right? Oh my, but there is the end of day 1. For a little more random Halloween type fun, why don't we get... I have a collection of little animals called calico critters or Sylvanian families. It's a little witch rabbit is all dressed up and just so excited to be here today. We'll have her hang out over there. Watch the candy and don't let me eat the sour pumpkins again. Thank you. Alrighty. Let's move on then to day 2, which again, we're going to be moving from the right to the left this time. So we'll set up the garden exactly the same as we did during setup. So we're going to go 1 card here. That's our face down card. Get this one. Ooh, that's a lot of pink. Oh, all right, there's a lot of pink going on here. I needed orange. I see how it is. So this is also why it's interesting with the desire cards, because they don't always work out for you. So we'll get our stones out on those, and then also don't forget desire cards. So let's see if there's anything here that's going to help me get some more points. Huh. Not a lot. So let's take a look and see what I can do to potentially complete another bounty. Because I don't have these desire cards. They're not going to help me that much. I could do that. No, you don't help me. A lily doesn't help. A poppy? All right, I could get a poppy. There's no beetle. There's bees. Okay, so I might go for bees over here. Again, this is the interesting strategic point, if I can say it, of figuring out what your plan is to go through the garden and then adjusting based on what the crow does. So what do I see that could help me here? What I'm seeing is this desire card over here, way near the end of the garden, towards the end of the day, is going to be 3 points for every bee. And I can see that there are 2 cards. Oh, and Ed. Hello, Ed. Ed's in the comments here saying, nice candy selection, but those pumpkin things are awful. Yes, an approval on the rest. I feel like I am totally going to agree with you on this. So far, I've had one of these sour ones. Unpleasant. These, I feel like, are going to be a nightmare, but I'll give it a whirl just for comedic and entertainment purposes. We'll blame it on the crow. The crow made me do it. Oh my. But yes, what else am I thinking of here? So I have my plans sort of for the end of this day as I get over into the last 3 columns, but the first 2 I am struggling with because I don't know. See, it's nice to have a card. So this top card has a nice moth on it. So picking up a card that has a bug on it can be helpful because you don't know what those desire cards could be, and they could actually help you out and get more points. But then the tulip has a stone on it, and I know that that crow is getting ready to steal something from me. You can see it in those beady eyes. Oh, interesting, interesting. I think I am going to take the lily, though. Let's see, these still vaguely on camera. Get those there. And then do your worst, crow. What are you doing? Ooh, all right. This is one of the interesting cards. So what this does, I should say they're all interesting in different ways. The way it changes the strategy, though. So it will discard this desire card and replace it with a face down desire card. So what does that do for me? That gives me a lot of options here in this next column. The poppy is kind of useful for maybe working towards this bounty, but it's not that valuable to me. I'm not really feeling it. I'm definitely going for a face down card. The question is, do I want to risk picking up this desire card? That's how I can get new extra points, but I don't know what it is, so I don't know if it will help me. And then this card could be great, or it could be absolutely nothing. I think I'm going to risk it with this new desire card, mostly because the crow helped me out before when it put a face down card. So we're going to move here. Let's reveal it and see what it is. Okay. All right. So this changes my strategy a little bit more. This is cool because what I'm looking for here is this is the same type of flower. So what does that mean? That means I could have, it could be mums, it could be lilies, or it could be tulips. I already have 2. So I already have a whopping 1 point, but this could be worth 7 to me. So I would call that was a pretty good move. Thanks, crow. High five to your... Thanks, crow. Not even on camera. Thank you, crow. It's a polite crow today, but just you wait. I know it's plotting something. Okay, so in the next column, before I flip that over, again, I always have to say, do I want to just toss that cup of tea at the crow? And I'm going to say I'm okay because I have a few options. So let's see. What does this crow want to do this time? Okay, that was the one that I really wanted, but that's okay. We can work with this. So again, what that means, it's going to discard this tulip. That also means that stone goes away. But because of how the card indicates, 1 stone goes on that space. So I'm in a little bit of a predicament because I know that if I don't take action with some stones, that crow is going to steal a card from me at the end of this day. However, this tulip helps me out with getting more points because I'm trying to collect tulips right now. I do have a moth though, so that moth would be worth 3 points if I took this desire card. I'm going to take the moth. Slide around. So I took that desire card. All right, Crow. Do your not so worst this turn. Okay. So this one I might want to take those stones. So what this says is we're going to discard this face down card. What was it? It was a purple mum. Wouldn't have really helped. That's okay, but it's going to put 2 stones there. And then this is the scenario where it might make sense for me to move to this space, which then would allow me to collect those 2 stones and maybe cut down on the crow's ability. I'm going to do that because the daisy is not really getting me ahead. I don't have another beetle to do here. I don't have a mum or a bee. Yeah, so I'm going to go here, take 2 stones. I'm going to say I'm going to eat a piece of candy, but it's going to be one of these, which I forget what these were called throughout the package. What does this taste like? Oh, that's pretty good. That was down the British candy aisle. And I can't remember what they're called, but they're really good. I'm enjoying this one. That was a good choice for the stones. I recommend these unnamed candies right here. Very chewy, but delicious. I took those stones. It's the crow's turn. Okay. All right, so that means this daisy is going to get discarded and get replaced with a face down card. So the nice part about that is the crow is not going to really be collecting that many stones. I actually can counteract it with my stones, so it will not steal from me. So I'm not as forced to go for this mum because I don't need an extra stone right now. I don't have beetles. A bee or a mum is helpful. Wait, would I be able to do it? No, I wouldn't. No. This card isn't a bad choice. It's just not as desirable of a choice. So I think I'm going to go with that face down card. Let's see what it is. Just move me over to remember. Okay. So it's a tulip. It's yellow, which doesn't really help with the colors I was going for, but that's a tulip. So I now have 3 tulips, which is worth 2 points, which I know doesn't sound like much, but if I keep collecting tulips, I'm getting there. All right. What does that mean? It's the end of the day. So let's figure it out. Let's get me off the board. These 2 stones, again, get discarded because they were on cards. And there's a couple of easy ways to do this. You can, what was under there? You can keep track of it, or if we kind of clear out the area, you'll see there's clearly one stone left over, and that crow is going to take it. And thank you very much. So I do not want the crow to steal anything from me because I can prevent that. So I am going to take one of my stones, discard that, which means that crow also loses a stone and stays at just 3, which means that crow can't touch me. Isn't that song? Dun, 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 dun. Can't touch this. Can't sing either, if you could, if that wasn't obvious. All right, and then since it's the end of the day, I actually should have checked this before. Did I complete any bounties? And I was keeping track of that. I did not. I have a poppy, I have a daisy, but no beetle. So I didn't meet this one. And then here I have a daisy but no mom and no bee. So it might look like you're so far behind, Jessica. How are you going to score points? Nope. That's the interesting part, is that I have these desire cards that keep giving me additional ways to score points. And actually, I can stack those a little bit so we can see those better. So we can see what I'm working towards. And I might actually pick up extra points here on this last day. So let's take a look. Set up for day 3, which is going to be the last round. So we are going to do standard. Again, it's the same. Ooh, there's an orange card with a bee on it. Oh, another orange card. Oh, did I shuffle? I don't know. Oh no, I knocked my gardener pawn over. Oh, all right. Okay. So we get everything set up, and then I'll kind of explain what I'm looking at and what I think I want to do. So let's get the stones out there again. There we go. So there is our new garden setup. And again, we're going to be playing left to right this time. And what are we working on? So I like to look at the desire cards, which is always helpful. This first one is looking for different colored flowers. So I have 1, 2, 3. It's worth 1 point to me, possibly 5, but I'm not really focused on getting different colors right now. So probably don't want that one. This one is 2 points for every daisy. I do have a daisy, so that might not be a bad option. This is 3 points for each butterfly. I have a butterfly, so that's 3 points right there. This is for every different type of flower. I have 4 out of 5, pretty good. And then this is 2 points for each lily. I have 1, but you can see how there's a balancing act here of picking up garden cards to use for scoring, and then picking up those scoring cards or desire cards to help you get more points. And it's an interesting mix of that, in that I did a ton of testing with this, and I know exactly how to do very poorly and scoring very well. You have to be super focused and really paying attention to what you want to do. But getting those high scores is really awesome when it happens. Maybe I'll do it here. We will see. So let's take a look at my first options again. I have 3 choices. There's a white mum, an orange mum with a stone, which sounds pretty good, and then those different colored flowers. So I think I'm going to rule out the desire card, because I need to then focus on getting a pink and a purple card, which, yes, is possible, but the mum right there is immediately worth, then I could, okay. The mum is my best bet. So I'm going to pick up the mum. And that means that I have 1 of every card. We'll replay this again in a minute, and I will reorganize this area slightly to help us out. And I picked up a stone. I'd take one of my licorice type candies. What are these? All sorts, I think they're called. More British candy. This one's good. I like that little bit of licorice in the middle. Oddly enough, these are not that sweet, but I remember these were like my favorite candy as a child. That was like the excitement of going to the grocery store and picking out that licorice candy. I don't know, it worked. Although nowadays, I have candy everywhere. You put this in front of me, 100 grand bar, that's going down the drain very quickly. I don't know how that stuck around for this long. We actually have a bunch of candy that we're going to, give out tonight for Halloween. I stole all the 100 grand bars. I stole from children. They can have all the other candy, though. Don't worry about it. And also, just to be clear, these are the pre-wrapped candies. We're not giving out any of the unwrapped, clearly touched candies. That's all for me. I don't know about those pumpkin marshmallows, though. I was warned by Ed, and I do heed my warnings. All right, so I'm here. So now it would be the crow's turn. And for some strange reason, amazingly, we actually have sunlight coming in today. If you see this, I am in extreme glare, courtesy of the unexpected sun. I live in an area, upstate New York, where we do not get sun. So this is a very rare occurrence. I'm surprised that we have it. It's going to disappear soon enough. I will, bask in it for just a minute. And Ed, 100 gram bars, a favorite? Yes. Awesome. I approve of you for liking that candy. And you can give those pumpkins to the garbage. I'm pretty sure I will. Or my husband, because he stole some candy before. Be like, these are for you. But I digress. So let's go back to our wonderful gardening in Floriferous and figuring out if I want to throw my cup of tea at the crow. I don't think so. I'm okay not picking up this poppy. I mean, it would be nice to complete the bounty, but at this point, I need to get this exact card and this exact card. I don't see that happening. And I could, with the desire cards that I have, I feel like there's a pretty good chance something could work there. Or I could always try to get 2 points from a daisy. I'm okay. All right, crow. Do your worst. Go ahead. What do you got for me? Oh, the crow did do its worst. So we're going to discard the poppy and replace it with 2 stones. And now it's getting close to the point that I may have to discard a card when that crow comes around again. But we can get there. So the choice then is, do I want to risk this face down card, get 2 points, or collect 2 stones? I don't know if I mentioned it clearly before, but every 2 stones are worth 1 point at the end of the game. So there's a little, there's a possibility that could be worth something to me too. And it also gives me insurance for the rest of the garden. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to collect 2 more stones. I got a pretty good selection here. I'll eat another piece of candy. This one looks delicious. It is. All right. And then I'm just thinking, and eating. This candy's good. I don't know if we want to, solo Sunday. I might approve of just having candy and other stuff, but not those pumpkins. I mean, you know what we're doing? Putting them out. No, you know what? I got it. Excuse me. Would you like this? Gave it to the crow. The crow has been slowed. It's like a Pokemon move. It's super effective. No, actually, the cup of tea would be super effective here. So all right. That daisy helps me in getting me 2 points. This tulip helps me with 2 more points. This would give me 3 points. Okay. So, oh no. My dad has said that my giving those pumpkins to the crow was animal cruelty. I apologize to the crow. Me and the crow have a very, very patchy relationship, though. Sometimes that crow is wonderful, and other times, I don't know what's going on. Alrighty. So I'm okay with the crow doing what it will in the next row. And actually, should have been while I was thinking, if you run out of crow cards, we just simply reshuffle. This happens a lot more in the let's remember what it's called. Yep, the extended setup. So actually, I'll talk about that real quickly. This is the game setup reference. So we're playing with solo. We play with the 2-player setup over here. And then in the extended game, I can point, there's actually 2 more columns. So we play for a longer, each day is longer. And it's a very interesting way to expand on play because it doesn't extend the gameplay by that much because as you'll see, like I'm taking forever to explain what I'm doing, having fun with candy, etc. Oh, I know. Speaking of candy, let's have another little visitor pop by, or a couple of them, in their lovely costumes. These are adorable, but a little odd. I'm going to put them out here. You might say, what are those? What is going on there? They're adorable, right? You know what those are? Those are little animals dressed up as ice cream cones. They can join our little trick-or-treater motif going on over there. It's sugar related, right? Sure. So let's see what the crow is going to do. Oh, that crow. Okay. So we're going to discard that stone, get rid of this tulip, and then put 2 out there. Which I'm okay with because, yes, the crow has 3 right now. 2 more gets it to 5. But I've got all these that I can use up. I don't need the stones. So let me just see. I don't have would I get them? I could potentially get a mum. Do have a poppy. I do. All right, let's back it up. I have a daisy. I have a mum. I need a bee. This would be there. I have a poppy. I do have a daisy, and I need a beetle. Okay. Nope. This is my best bet because I think this daisy is going to help me get very close to completing some more of those bounty cards right at the end. So there's my daisy. Put it right here. And it is an orange one, so that is worth 2 points because of my desire card. Yeah. All right. So in our next column, this desire card is very nice because it's worth 5 points. And then let's take a look. I do have a lily and a butterfly, so that would be worth 3 points to me. So I'm okay. There's a few options here. I'm okay with whatever this crow is going to do. All right, you're going to take the 5 points. All right, you know, fine. Fine. Take it. Okay, so I have to think now about, do I want to get 3 automatic points? Because with this arrangement, I have 2 of those elements, so that's 3 points for me. Or do I risk it and go for what's under there? Because in the it's not a very, very small chance, but the small chance that that is an orange card with a moth on it, that would be worth 5 points for me. If it's another tulip, that's worth 2 points. I mean, it could be a tulip. It could be an orange tulip with a moth. Does that exist? I'm not 100% sure, but I'm going to risk it, which I know 3 points is a lot nicer potentially, but we're going to risk it. We're going to take this card and take a look. What is it? Oh, a lily with a ladybug is worth nothing to me. Should have gone for the arrangement. Oh, wanted just too much. All right, and then this final, I really need this mum with the beetle. Are there 2 points? That could work too. All right, go ahead, crow. I'm not throwing my tea. All right. It's going to go down there, although that could get... Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay, so now I'm in an interesting position because, as you recall, I did say that that yellow lily I picked up was worth nothing to me. But how could it be useful? when the crow steals from me, here's a lily. It's worth so much to me. You can have it. That could be the situation. And I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to take this mum, go there, and then we're going to call that the end of the day. And let me just see if I completed bounties first. So I have a poppy, I have a daisy, and I now have a beetle. Yes! So I get 2 points for completing that at the end of day 3. And then did I get this other one? I have a mum, a daisy. Oh, and then, so just to be clear about this, for the very last one, it needs a daisy, a mum, and a bee. So there's the mum. That's easy. And then it needs a daisy and a bee. So what I'm using are these 2 cards because, again, a bounty, you need a different card for each element. So I am using this yellow daisy for the daisy card, and then the bee on this card, irrelevant of the fact that it's a daisy. So that's 3 cards total. That gets me up there. And then just before we resolve everything, the crow would take all of these stones. So what I can do is me even reducing it still gets 4. The crow has too many stones. So it doesn't make any sense for me to spend my 4 stones because remember, those are worth 2 points. So here it comes. The crow gets to steal from me, but I'm okay with that because I have a card that's worth nothing to me right now. This lily. So, here you go. The crow stole my lily, and that just gets discarded. The crow doesn't have a hand of cards or anything. So we're at the end. That would go there. We'll just clean up our garden area just to be clear that we are at the end. And now it is time for points. So again, on your reference card, there's a nice example of where to get all points. So first, you can go in any order that you want. We're just going to cover every source of points and then compare this to the scoring chart at the end of the rule book and see how well I did. So first up, I get 2 plus 5 is 7, 8, 9. So I get 9 for those bounty cards. Again, I'm looking at it based on the day that I completed those. So if I completed all 3 bounties in the first day, that's 15 points, which is not nothing. As it happened, I have 9, which again, that's pretty acceptable. So I'm also going to get 2 points from these 4 stones because remember, every 2 stones is worth 1 point. So that's 9 from there. Plus 2 is 11. Let's just make sure. I have no arrangement cards. Sculpture cards are not used in the solo game. I'll show those in a second. And then, so I don't forget, we're at 11. I kept the cup of tea, so that's still worth 2 points to me. That's basically a choice we make during the game is, do I want 2 points or do I want to use it to make sure that I get these other points from the crow? So 11 plus 2 for that cup of tea is 13. And then let's see how we did with our desire cards. Let's go with this one. So this is 3 points for every moth. I'm at 13 points, and I have a whopping 1 moth. So that's 16 points. Let's see. This is for flowers of the same type. I'm at 16. This is 2 more points for 3 tulips. So I'm at 18. Oh my gosh. This is going to be amazing. 2 points for every orange flower. So I am at 18, I said. So this is 20, 22, 24, 26, 28. 28 points. How well did I do? Not well. Not well. All right, so we have our scoring table for the solo mode up here. We're playing this standard game, not the extended game. So, standard game at 28 points. I am cool as a cucumber today, apparently. But there's definitely room to improve. I figured, yes. I don't know. We're gonna blame the crow / these terrible pumpkins that are nearby. Yes, Ed said oof. I agree. Not a good score. It's in the middle. I mean, and again, I'm just gonna reset while I reminisce and philosophize over here. How well a game goes is dependent on what you're trying to get out of the game. When I'm playing Herbaceous, for instance, that one is me trying to get, yes, the perfect score of 67 points, but it's more of a relaxing, meditative experience for me. Floriferous is definitely more strategic, so I am upset to a very small extent that I did not do as well that time. So let's put out, again, we're going to do 3 bounty cards, and we might get a couple of, there's a couple of new ones in there. I believe we had this one last game. So let's make sure that we get everything reset. I know what I need. I need some extra luck. And the only way you get extra luck is, I'm not joking, little animals dressed up like gardening type situations. I'm going to tell you what these are in 1 second. See these? They're so cute. One of them, yes. This is a teeny tiny critter dressed up as an eggplant. Because who doesn't want an eggplant costume for Halloween? I need some luck from that. And this one, I was so confused at first. There's like a little dot on the top there, green. This is a rabbit dressed as a bell pepper. Once again, fantastic Halloween attire. It does make me laugh. So let's hope that is going to give me a little bit of extra luck this time around. You get these out of here. Flip over our reference card just in case. But yeah, that was me showing off Floriferous in all its glory and me getting a low to middling score. All right, this time I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do less talking and more just playing through it, because I've timed this once again. That was extremely slow, I know, but I will probably go a little bit faster here. And for me, it takes probably around 15-20 minutes at the most. Sometimes you can fly through it. Sometimes you want to take a little bit more time going through it, because once again, this artwork deserves to just be, enjoyed, and just look at that. They're all so pretty. I'm going to drop this. I can feel that. There's so many different types of flowers that you can come across. It's just a very nice, relaxing, fun experience to go through, even when you score poor to middling. All right, we are going to call this shuffled enough. Get this over here. Get my gardener pawn in place. Take all these stones. I don't think so, Crow. Get these out of here. Bop, bop, bop. We'll shuffle that, yeah. I'll give you a chance. You'd think the crow wouldn't have any chance after eating those pumpkin. I don't even know what I think they're called pumpkin spice marshmallows. I was told they smell like nutmeg. I have moved them away on Ed's advice, just an FYI. Here they are. I gave them to the crow. Alrighty, so let's get everything set up for day 1 of my garden stroll. Well, that is a lot of purple. Ooh, nice. Are there a lot of... Nope, that's just a bunch of different bugs. Alrighty. So there's choices there. And then, of course, the desire cards. moth, poppy, purple, beetles, and white flowers. Okay. And I just need to do a quick check. Let's check this. Can I get this? There's a lily, is a mum, and there's a tulip. That's a possibility. It's a poppy. Is there a beetle? There's no beetle, so I'm not going to try for that yet. There's a poppy, there's a lily, and a moth, but I would need 2 lilies for that. Here I am. This is strategic Jessica here. If I can get a poppy, this lily, and that lily. And then that one needs, you get a lily there, a tulip. No, a lily, yeah, a tulip and a mum. All right, I got my path. Let's try this and see how it goes. Take the tulip. What are you going to do? I don't care. It's fine. I need this poppy. Fine. Didn't need it anyway. I wanted that mum. It's the face down one, which is interesting, but I don't need it. I do need this lily. Okay, and then I'm just, normally it would be a discard and then 2 stones out there. That's fine. I want this lily. And we're going to go see if my fast pace there actually made sense. So it's the end of the day. Let me do my bounties first to see if which ones I got. So the first one is looking for a lily, a mum, and a tulip. So I did the first one. Middle one I did not because there was not a beetle out here. So we just threw that up to the wayside. I couldn't get it. So then the last one is a lily, a poppy, and a moth. And I got that one too. So bam. That's 2 bounties on the first day. Very good. So the crow would get 3 stones, which is fine because the crow has less than 4. So don't touch my stuff. So now the interesting part here is that we're going to go into day 2. I'm going to set up everything here as we go along here. And so I got 10 points, which is great, but the bounties are like one-time ways to earn points, whereas desire cards can be more like ongoing bonuses if you can get the right cards. So I know I need to put stones out here. Let's get all those out there. Let's get our stones, and then let's once again take a step back and plan this stroll through the garden. So the second card is looking for, I do have a poppy. I'm looking at the bounty just to see if this is easy to complete. I have a bounty, but I would need a daisy and a beetle. There's a daisy, but no beetle. So I don't think I'm going to go for the bounty right now. I think what I want to do is find some, let's see, about these desire cards and how they can help. That does not help me any. Orange would get me 2 points. I don't have any daisies. I have 1 tulip and I have 1 ladybug. All right, and then there's also arrangements out here. So there is a poppy. Oh, that's worth 5 points to me. This nice boot in the middle. I definitely want to get that one. A tulip plus a ladybug. This one could be useful to me too. So if I could, and a stone would, yes, okay. So I am going to go right here and pick up this tulip with a butterfly and a stone, which means I will eat another piece of candy. Let's go for this one. With sound effects. So here. I'm still okay if the crow takes it. It's not going to take it. I'm going to discard that. Put that there. I want this arrangement. Give me that arrangement. And then the next row column, I really want that, but I'm okay without it. Okay. So that goes away. 2 stones. So stones are going to become an issue here in a moment. But I am going to take this, another arrangement, which means another piece of candy. So much candy. I'm okay with this next row. And there's where we go with all the stones. And it's going to steal something from me very shortly. I'm okay if I lose that. All right, I'm going to take this desire card. And then what are you going to do to me here? I'm going to take the top one, put face down card. With way too many stones, you're going to steal from me. I am going to have this stolen from me, but that's okay. I do have a ladybug, so I'm going to take this desire card to make that 3 points. And then I definitely did not complete that bounty. Let's clean up this area to get ready for day 3. This crow takes 5 million stones. Here you go. I should just give it the marshmallows. Those get discarded. And this crow is going to come by and go, there goes my mom and the butterfly. Let's hope the butterfly got away from the crow. Alrighty. And then these desire cards also get discarded. These are my desire cards. And then we're ready for day 3. See how it goes fast when I'm not talking. So let's see. What do we have coming out here? It's all of my little costume characters that are helping. Ooh. All right, that's a nice mix there. Different colors is worth a lot. Different bugs. Same color, pink, and different flower types. Okay, so the desire cards are looking pretty good with this round. And as I get ready, why don't we have a couple more? Some may wonder, when the painters come back from the wilderness, where do they go? They come and hang out in the garden. These 4. And if you don't recognize them, give it a second. They're painters. They paint landscapes. Those are from Sunset Over Water. Those are the meeples from that. We'll have them kind of hang out here. And actually, I think it might be easier if we lay them down just to see. Yeah. We'll say that they're painting some nice gardening pictures from the side. All right, and then I need to plan my last day and the last stroll through this garden as the crow looks on and is just ready to steal from me. Need that one, I need that. Oh, where did ladybug's right there. Okay, so I get points for ladybugs and tulips. Tulips. Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm like, where am I? What am I doing? What's a flower? This would be a daisy, a white flower. This arrangement is not worth it to me. There's a tulip there, though. A tulip over there. Oh, I really want that one. Okay. I got it. I'm going to take this tulip. Or would it make sense to get... Hold on. Thinking. Different color ones. I have 4. That's worth 3 points. If I can get a white... No, I can't really get a white one. If this was in any other column, that would work. But even then, it's still worth 3 points rather than 2. So we're going to pick up this desire card. Do your worst, Crow. I didn't want that anyway. I'm fine with that. I will just pre-shuffle. Get ready for that Crow. All right. And then I have 3 different types of bugs, which means this is worth 2 points to me. It's not nothing, but these always tempt me. The face down cards are always, I always want them. So maybe we will go and grab that. And I don't see any beetles, so I don't think I'm going to be able to complete this bounty, which is okay, but I need to be able to get points. Do I have, I mean, there's not really many other bugs, so this is 2 points versus possibly 2 or 3. I don't know if it's white. All right. I'm talking myself out of it. We're just going to do it. Ugh. It's a mum. And by the way, a mum is very nice. It's just, it's just not the card I wanted. Okay. That's okay, though. What are you going to do here? You're going to take the desire card, which I was thinking of going for. Jeez. A mum or a daisy? I mean, I think I might be able to pull that. Yeah. We're going to go here, take this stone, get this mum, which means more candy. I'll do the sour pumpkin one because it'll make me quiet. So I can just play. Oh my gosh. Just a moment. So sour. Okay. Oh, my face down card. I was so excited about it. How terribly rude. Poppy doesn't do anything. Pink cards, though, help. So I will take this to get a pink card. Or to get 2 points per pink card. And then either one of those is good for me. So, all right. So you're going to drop the tulip. Oh, I see. And it's going to tempt me on the very last turn with that face down card. I'm not going to bite, though, because this desire card is worth 3 points to me. It's for different flowers. I have mums, lilies, poppies, and tulips. I want that one. There we go. Okay. I know I didn't complete that bounty. The crow is going to get 3 stones, which, that would have been worth 3 points to me, but that's fine. Because what I got was worth 3 points. We will clear out our area here. And let's take a look at how well I did this time. I feel like it's a little bit better, but we'll see. So I have 10 points from bounty cards. 1 point from these 3 stones, because again, it's 2 points per one, and 1 doesn't count for anything. So that's 11, 12, 13. Arrangement cards. Hold on. 13. I'm going to remember that, I hope. It's Halloween, Friday the 13th. I'll remember it. So this arrangement is looking for a poppy, an orange card, and a moth. So I have an orange poppy, which for arrangements, a single card can work. And a moth is right there. So that looks good. So that's 5 points for this lovely boot arrangement. So I'm up to 18. And then this is looking for a tulip, yellow, and a ladybug, if I can remember the name. So I have that. So that gets me up to 23. So let me just move this over here. So 23. Then this is looking for different flowers. I have 4, so that's 3. So I'm at 26. Then 2 for every pink flower, 28, 30. Then for every different colored flower, I have 4 colors. I have pink, purple, yellow, and orange, no white. So I was at 30. Now I'm at 33. 3 for every ladybug. I think I have just 1, so that's 36. And then 2 for every tulip would be 38, 40. That sounds much better. Let's see how I did there. So 40 points. All right, there we go. 40 points in the standard game. Let's see if we can get this. Oh, I have anger. Oh, the crow is off to the side. It's ruining my it's ruining the, what do you call it, resolution here. But 40 points gets me into the utter zen category, which is almost at the top there. Second tier from the top, the highest tier would be at 45 points. So at 40, I wasn't that far off. If I had somehow found a way to get that bounty card, the second one, that might have worked. I feel much better about this, about this outing than the previous one. But you can see again how there's that balance between picking up garden cards and those flowers and picking up desire cards. Early on when I was testing out the solo mode, also funny story here, I should be able to do much better because those scores are based on me playing, I think like 50 times or something. So I should know how to do well. But again, this is a really beautiful and fun game. I'll just lay out some of the cards as we get to closing here because we are a little bit over my usual time. We usually do an hour, but just looking at this artwork, it's amazing. And again, I don't know if I said it before, but the artwork is by Clementine Campardu, and this is by Steve Finn and Eduardo Baraf. Excuse me, Filippo. And then the solo mode is by Keith Mateka. You may know from Thunderworks games and Role Player. So there's a lot here. But yes, that is Floriferous. And Ed said, you set the bar. LOL. I tried to. I set the bar for myself at the same time. So if I had played through, for instance, the extended play, the extended setup, which again is right down here, you'll see again that you would be playing through 2 extra columns per day. And that one has different scoring thresholds based on, obviously you score higher, but it does change the strategy a little bit. And I don't want to give anything away there, but you'll kind of see how those bounty cards, how that plays out. I'm pretty sure, I'd have to check, but I'm pretty sure that I ended up in a very rare instance actually completing all of the bounties on day 1, which was pretty awesome. And those are those fun gaming moments that happen just, again, from planning your strategy, planning against the caw, the crow. Oh no, you did too well today. Oh, it's the marshmallows. But it is just fun to try to get those high scores, working towards getting that balance between getting all those flowers in hand and picking them and getting, having a full hand at the end where you have all these flowers looks really nice, but then you have to think, wait a second, these didn't get me any points. So there's also getting those desire cards, which again are all of these. There's all different types. And again, depending on what happens during the game, especially with how the crow reacts and those turns when you think you have your whole path planned through the garden, and then the crow might do something like replacing a card with a face down card. For me, I always have to hesitate because I'm like, that could be so great for me. It could be worth nothing, but it could be great. But even those cards that are worth nothing, you can actually save up for in the solo mode. And just when the crow is going to steal something, there you go. And Ed said, good fun. Have a fantastic Halloween. You too, Ed. Yes, everybody, I hope you have a great Halloween and get good candy and stay safe. Do not get, I'm not even going to attempt it. Don't get these marshmallows, apparently. They're terrible. Oh dear. Those marshmallows just knocked over Tanthos. That's not good. Those marshmallows are going, There's going to be a Skull Hollow incident. And again, just in Pencil First Games news, Mall Peak, which is the standalone expansion to Skull Hollow, you can sign up to be notified when that launches on Kickstarter. I dropped the link in the comments before. If you have any questions, though, ask for it, because we want everybody to be aware when that comes out. We'll have more information there, but basically, if you want a little more information about Mall Peak, this one is, instead of the Foxen that you're familiar with from Skull Hollow, we have the Grizzar, which are bears, and they function very differently. There's a rage mechanic and a den full of them, so that's very different from the Foxen. And then brand new guardians that you've never seen before that, again, play very differently. And Mall Peak can be combined with Skull Hollow, so you can have all different types of combinations, either the Foxen versus any Guardian or the Grizzar versus any Guardian. We don't allow the Foxen and the Fox and the Bears don't fight against each other, but there is a way to now combine them so that you can have a 3 or 4 player game with both games. Lots of fun stuff there. Floriferous, though, is definitely coming up. This, again, if you're a Kickstarter backer, you'll see the updates about where we are. I'm trying to think what other... Oh, no, I forgot some more random guests from our, from our fun here. Let's see if anybody recognizes these as I close with some fun for Halloween. There's a lot. Just a moment. You're getting ready to go trick-or-treating. And who is it? You don't recognize these. These are the awesome alien meeples from Liftoff, Get Me Off This Planet. There's the expanded deluxe edition out there, which comes with the pink ones. I love these faces so much. We'll gently drop them across the garden. Make sure they're face up. They're in a very eclectic mix. And I don't know if I showed it, but this is the insert for Floriferous, so you're going to be able to store everything neatly. There's a nice, area in the middle where all those fleeples go. I could go on, but it is Halloween, so I will let everybody get going. And again, enjoy the day, stay safe, and if you watch this later on, wherever it is, whatever you're doing, enjoy solo gaming. And thank you again for stopping by for Solo Sunday and taking a look at Floriferous with me, with my best friend, the Crow. There's always fun. Join me again next month when we'll have Solo Sunday, the last Sunday of the month. Again, we don't know exactly what that will be, but there'll be lots to do, plenty of laughs. So I will get going and let everyone go. Thank you again, and take care. Bye.